If you have never written a single line of code in your life, so this is the right video. I'm not going to assume you know what a variable is because we're going to cover in this video. So why you need to learn Python as a DevOps engineer? So if you go to Naukri, let's say naukri.com. So if you click on any DevOps jobs, then Control F. If you type Python, so you can see they are asking for Python or shell scripting. So if you click on any other random jobs, let's say DevOps engineer, just click any one of them and Control F and Python. So you can see almost every DevOps job is going to ask for Python. So you don't need to master Python, but you need to know how to use it. So first, if you go to python.org, so this is where you can download Python for your specific OS. So once you download it, open terminal, and if you type Python -version, now you can see Python version. So there are two ways to interact with Python. Either you can type Python, so it's gonna open an interactive shell. So if you want to print something on the screen, so you can do print, that's a keyword, and then close parentheses. So whatever you want to print, just put that in quotes. So now you can see it says welcome to Python for DevOps. So whatever you're going to put it inside the quotes, it's just going to print as is. So you have to use this print keyword specifically. If you use capital P, it's not going to work. It's going to throw an error. So let's say hello. So it says name error. So whenever you see an error, make sure to read it properly. That's where you're going to get an idea. If you check it here, it says name error, name and the print, and then is not defined. Did you mean print? So it's giving suggestion as well. So just try to correct it, it's gonna work. So that's how you can make use of it. But here, if you want to come out of it, you can press exit and then these parentheses. So that way you can come out. Otherwise, you can do Control D as well. So now you can see we come out of that Python shell. So this way you can do, but if you write in shell, it's not going to remember anything. So that's why we can make use of files. I made a repository for this Python for DevOps. I'm just going to clone it. It seems I already cloned it. I'm just going to open that in Visual Studio Code. So make sure to download Visual Studio Code. It's Python for DevOps. So I just opened it in here. So what you can do here, I'm just going to create a file. Let's say hello.py. So you don't need to put py at the end. But if someone looks at this file, so they can identify that it's a Python file. So if it is a script file, we usually put sh. So if someone looks at that, so they can identify it's a shell script. So here, let's say I want to print the same thing. So now I can save it. If you press Control and tick symbol, so tick is basically this symbol, this one tick symbol. Basically, you can press this one. So Control and tick symbol. So now you can see a terminal here. So once you save it, if you want to run this file, so you can type Python 3 and then hello.py. Now you can see it's running. Basically, it's gonna run top to bottom. Let's say I want to print. Let's say web-01. Let's say it's a server. You can save it and then you can use Appara to rerun. So now you can see welcome to Python for DevOps, and then it prints web01 as well. So congrats, you just ran faster script. So basically programming is easy, trust me, but once you understand the logic, it's going to be easier. So now let's understand what are variables and how to use them. Let's say I'm just going to define a variable. Let's say server name, server_name, and then I'm going to put it as, let's say, web01. So that's a variable. So if you use equal symbol, single equal, that's basically going to be an assignment operator. On the left side, it's going to be variable name, and the right side, it's going to be its value. So this is how you can define. So if you try to print the value of it, what you can do, you can simply type print, and then here, if you put this in quotes, so it's going to assume as a string. So let's say it's going to print it as is, as it did on the top. So it's going to do the same way. So if you try to rerun it, now you can see server name only. If you put this one without quotes, so let's see, if you rerun that, now you can see web01. Why instead of printing server name, it printed web01? Because you're telling Python to use this variable, and it's gonna check its value and it's gonna print it. So that's how you're gonna make use of variables. So basically there are different kinds of variables we can use. In this specific video we are going to cover strings. So simply you can type str, it's a keyword, you can see it's highlighting, and then we're going to look for integer, and then we are going to look float type variables or data types, and then we can have a look on boolean or bool. So we're going to cover these. So I'm just gonna comment it. Commenting, if you put hash in front of them, that's gonna be comment. Basically Python is going to ignore, it's not going to execute this one. So comment means Python is not going to execute. So this is for human understanding. So let's understand what are strings and how to use them. So if you press Ctrl// it's gonna add a comment. If you press Ctrl// again, it's gonna uncomment. So that's a shortcut. So let's say if you want to define a server name, let's say server name equal to maybe web01, and then let's say if I want to create another variable, let's say environment, I want to create a mount path. So let's put maybe /var or log I want to say. So here you can see these are strings. So when you put something in quotes, that's basically going to be a string. Maybe even if you put, let's say CPU count, let's say, if I put this in quotes, it's going to be a string. If I don't put this in, if I put this way, this is going to be integer. We'll come to that. So now just remember, when you put something in quotes, it's basically going to be a string. So these are strings. And then what are integers are basically integer or int. So let's say integers are int. I'm just gonna comment it out. So basically it's a whole number. Let's say you want to see CPU count, a variable. Let's say I'm gonna store number 4. Maybe you can say threshold. It could be any variable name. I'm just trying to put meaningful names. So that's how you can relate these with DevOps. Maybe 80. Maybe you got a port variable. So maybe you want to use 8080. So these are basically numbers. So whole numbers are integers. So you got another variable type, that's a float. So basically if you put decimal values, that's going to be a float basically. So let's say you want to have a variable usage percentage or usage percent, maybe 42.8, let's say. So you got some decimal. So basically it's going to be float. Let's say I want to create another variable load average, maybe 82.9, let's say. So these are basically float. Another data type we got, or a variable type or data type. So we can make use of boolean or bool, you can say. So basically it's gonna contain only couple of values. Let's say I want to create a variable is production equal true. Maybe let's say backup enable, maybe it's going to be false. So if you check it carefully, you can see we use a capital T and capital F. So you can see the color coding as well. If I put a small f, it's going to throw an error basically. So you can hover mouse on it. So that's why you can have this VS Code. It's going to highlight your syntax. So remember, these boolean values are capital T and capital F, true or false. So only just a couple of them. So if you put them in quotes, again these are going to be string. So we have other types of variables in the dictionary, tuples and lists. So for now, these are enough for now. So we can come to those when it required. So let's say if you want to check these variables type, so what you can do, you can make use of type function. So you can use that. So let's say if you want to check the CPU type, so I'm just gonna grab these, and then let's say I'm just gonna grab one of each. Okay, now I saved it. If I want to run this file, just rerun that. So now you declared these variables, but you never printed anywhere. That's why you don't see those output. So let's print this one. Print, I just want to print it. So you can do that. Maybe you can do it this way. So make sure to balance these parentheses. Okay, here actually, let's get rid of this. That looks fine now. Now if you run it, now you can see this one is integer CPU count because you put a number, whole number, and then class string. So this one server name is string because you can see it's a string, and then boolean you put true or false, so you can see, and the float basically you use decimal value. So that's how basically you're gonna make use of them. So while creating these variables, so we should be careful. Let's say if you want to create a variable server name, so basically it's not allow, so spaces, it doesn't allow spaces, and then if you want to put dash, it doesn't allow as well. Let's say if you want to put you should have this one, let's say db server, if I put this value, so here it's gonna work, but if I put dash, if I try to print it, let's say the server hyphen name dash name, so basically server hyphen name, so now if you check in here, if you over mouse, it says server is not defined. So if you run it, now you can see can't assign to operator, so you can see the error, syntax error. Basically it doesn't allow hyphen, so it doesn't allow spaces, and then it doesn't allow dash, but instead you can put underscore, and then basically this variable can have numbers. Let's say server name 1, if I put that, now you can see it's gonna allow, now you can see. But if you put this number in front, let's say the variable name doesn't start with a number, now you can see it's going to give an error. So if you rerun, now you can see syntax, invalid syntax. So just remember, it doesn't allow hyphen, it doesn't allow spaces, it doesn't allow the variable number, the variable name must not start with a number, must not start. Okay, you create this variable, and let's say if you say server name, so these are basically both are different variables, even if you put this way as well. So these two are different variables, so case matters. So just remember that. So if you put a server name in small letters, if you try to use a variable in capital letters, it's not going to work. So we basically what we're going to do, if you just comment it out, so you can control/. So if you put a variable name this way, we can basically call it snake casing. So it's a snake casing, so you can use this way. So you can see this syntax most of the time, and then sometimes you're gonna see, let's say you have a variable threshold equal maybe let's say 70. So these are basically, if you don't want to change these values, that's where you're gonna make use of capital variables. Basically we're gonna use it for settings. Let's say if some application takes some settings, so that's where you're gonna make use of them. And then this is where you're gonna make use of comments. As I said, if you put hash, let's say I'm just gonna say settings, maybe we can say change this value. Maybe you have a variable port 18. So if someone looks at this code, so they can understand, okay, this is the setting, so we have to, if needed, we have to change this. So that's how you can make use of comments. So comments are basically for human, for us to read. So it's not for Python basically gonna ignore it. So that's all for the video. Thank you so much for watching.